articles is starting to come out from the Indy Star in regards to the Indiana Fever cutting more players.
Just when it seemed like the drama had settled, the Indiana Fever reignited the chaos by making a bold move, cutting not one, but two high-profile rookies in a ruthless roster shakeup.
Sophie Cunningham and Lexi Hull they've been in the league for a while. You actually had players who, like Bree Hall, why wasn't she in that game per se? If you're still trying to figure out who's going to make the team, who you're going to cut. So I was a little confused with what Steph.
Storming back into the spotlight is none other than WNBA legend turned fire starter Sheryl Swoopes, coming in guns blazing and aiming straight at Caitlin Clark's squad with accusations that have the basketball world in an uproar.
Back in the news, getting pushback from fans, calling out Lexi Hull, Sophie Cunningham, calling out Stephanie White. Oh, I don't know about gold.
Was this a cold-blooded business move, a shady case of favoritism, or is Swoopes reigniting a personal vendetta against the league's brightest young star? Buckle up. This story has more layers than a championship playoff run, and the takes are already scorching hot.
Clark, pull up three. You bet!
The bombshell cuts that lit the fuse? You guessed it. The Indiana Fever had to make some tough decisions, and they didn't just trim their roster, they hacked it with a cleaver. In a move that sent shockwaves through the league, they axed Bree Hall, the electric two-time NCAA champ from South Carolina, and Ivani Jim, Gonzaga's all-time leading scorer. These weren't just camp bodies, they were legit prospects with real upside, dumped before even getting a proper shot to show what they could do. Fans were stunned, analysts scrambled, and almost immediately, the whispers began. Was this really about talent, or was something else going on? The timing was brutal. Hall barely saw the floor in preseason, logging sparse minutes against Brazil before getting cut. Jim, gone within 24 hours. No fanfare, no emotional farewell, just a cold, hard reminder of the cutthroat reality of professional sports. But the kicker? The Fever's salary cap is a mess, thanks in large part to Katie Lou Samuelson's bloated dead money deal. With only 11 roster spots and a pile of guaranteed veteran contracts, someone had to go. The question is, why these two? Cue the conspiracy theories. Social media erupted with accusations that the Fever were prioritizing certain players, specifically Caitlin Clark's supporting cast, over raw talent. And just like that, Sheryl Swoopes re-emerged, ready to pour gasoline on the fire. This stinks of favoritism, she said. Even though key vets like Sophie Cunningham and Lexi Hull didn't play in some games, Swoopes questioned why Hull wasn't given more minutes if the team was truly still evaluating roster spots. It didn't add up to her. She all but accused head coach Stephanie White of rigging the system. Her tone, during a women's hoop show appearance, dripped with skepticism. The implication was clear. Hall was set up to fail, while vets like Cunningham and Hull were protected. And Swoopes didn't stop there. She took a not-so-subtle jab at the Fever's white players, hinting that Clark's teammates were being shielded from scrutiny. Maybe I should start tuning up the rest of them, she quipped, igniting a firestorm of backlash. Was this a legitimate critique about roster fairness, or a thinly veiled jab at Clark's meteoric rise? The internet had opinions. Let's be real, Swoopes has a history here. She downplayed Clark's NCAA records last season and branded her a media creation. Now, it seems she's broadening her scope to include Clark's entire circle. Whether you agree with Swoopes or not, one thing's clear, she's not here to play nice. She's here to spark conversation, stir the pot, and challenge the system. Stephanie White, on the other hand, isn't backing down. The Fever's head coach made her stance known. Preseason is about more than auditions. It's about chemistry. With a roster full of veterans and a championship window starting to crack open, every minute counts. White argued that players like Cunningham and Hull weren't handed spots. They earned them. Then there's the cap situation. The Fever are still stuck paying Samuelson's buyout, which means they lack the flexibility to cut anyone with a guaranteed deal. That left rookies like Hall and Jim, who were on non-guaranteed contracts, as the only viable cuts. Harsh. Absolutely. But as White put it, the WNBA isn't fair, it's about winning. And with Clark, Aaliyah Boston, and Kelsey Mitchell at the core, the Fever aren't here to coddle, they're here to contend. Still, the optics are messy. Two black players cut, both with strong college resumes, while lesser-known white vets stayed. That's the narrative Swoopes is happy to amplify. And then came the clapback. Sophie Cunningham, never one to bite her tongue, laughed off Swoopes' comments in a post-game interview before shutting it down with a mic drop. I don't need anyone's approval. My game speaks for itself. And it did. Cunningham lit up Brazil in preseason, showing why she's a glue player for